当てけ夢のし誰にどう邪魔させるわけには
Okay, I admit, I haven't actually even started working on a cover of the opening. I'm not proud of it, but what can I do? Well, since my last review for Bokura ga Ito was such a big success, I decided to do another one for Air. I've just finished it. Well, okay, that would be lying. I watched it, I finished it about, it has to be about 3 weeks ago now, and I just never got around to doing a review, because I've said before I'm lazy. But finally, I think it's time I get started, so without further ado, I give you Air. Air was based on a visual novel by Key Visual Arts. Now, what is a visual novel, you may ask? Okay, I'll tell you. A visual novel is a computer game from Japan, and in most of them, it revolves around seducing teenage girls, and does it really need saying? All in all, the only thing that I can say about this to do it justice is, it's Japan, right? The story of Air revolves around a young man named Yukito who comes to this seaside town in search of someone his mother told him about, the girl in the sky, a spiritual being who is consumed with a great sadness and needs to be freed from a curse. Well, the moment he gets there, well, he meets this girl named Misuzu, who's very, from this picture, you can probably tell what kind of personality she has. She's got her head in the clouds. Also on this day, he meets a girl named Kano and a girl named Minagi, along with her friend Michiru. And all of them are a little weird. I mean, it's obvious. Minagi is arguably the sanest of all the girls he's met. But, I mean, even she's a little off. I mean, what else do you expect? I mean, strange town, you meet 4 girls, all of them are rather strange in some way, and they all might be connected to what he's looking for. A little convenient, but, it all sets up a very interesting story. A story of love, loss, redemption, and, to add some variety, more loss. It's character time! First, let's start with Yukito. What can you tell by looking at him? You can tell that he's kind of moody, kind of mysterious, and he's a wanderer. He's got a bag next to him, and it looks like he hadn't eaten in days. He's one of those characters. And I guess, much like Yano from Bokura ga Ito, it's easy to mistake him for a jerk in the first episode, but you find that he's got the reasons the way he acts. I mean, in just the first episode, you see how some people are like to him. He's used to being just scorned at, basically like a homeless person. Not that scorning at homeless people is fair or anything. I mean, they're people too. I mean, that's why they're called homeless people. But I digress. He's got some hidden depth to him. You see him later in the series as more of a fatherly figure to some of the characters, and it's like that's how they think of him, kind of. The different arcs in the show, he helps them, the different characters, with problems, personal problems, and he's a kind of a person you can look up to, and I think he seems like a person I would very much like to meet in real life. Actually, he kind of reminds me of my brother. Yes, I've mentioned him a lot in my videos. Another cool thing is that he was voiced by Vic Mignogna, who voiced Tamaki Suo from Ouran High School Host Club, and I love that anime. Have there ever been any of those characters that you just want to hug? Well, that's Misuzu in a nutshell. but that doesn't even come close to what her real personality is like, although I'd probably like that character too. When we first meet Misuzu, she kind of gives off the impression that she's gonna be a ditz. That's really the only thing he can say to describe it. When we first see her tripping and falling on her face, I mean, it's very cute though, but we get the feeling that she's gonna be a bit of a ditz. That doesn't come anywhere close to what this character is like. Misuzu acts this way kind of because her emotional growth has been stunted, because she hasn't had a real friend, at least for a long period of time, her whole life. She sees that Yukito doesn't have anywhere to live, so she invites him to stay at her house. And Yukito, he's a little suspicious, and he doesn't trust people that easily. But Misuzu is probably one of the first truly kind-hearted and pure people he's met in his long travels. Misuzu is, she's basically the best humanity has to offer, if not a little strange. And frankly, what's so interesting about characters that aren't strange, right? I mean, if you're not going to be a little strange, then what's the point of even having an anime where just about every episode is dedicated to you in some way, where all the characters are connected to you? Why do you ungrateful bastards even consider that? Okay, maybe that was a little harsh. My point being, let abnormality rule. Misuzu has been haunted by dreams all her life, especially when she's making new friends. Now, of course, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that these are going to be important plot points later on, but they're so important that I probably shouldn't even mention them, because they're just so important that I probably shouldn't even mention them, that they're so important that I probably shouldn't even mention them. They're that important. Seriously. Misuzu is also the most likely candidate to be the girl in the sky. This is something that is deeply explored. Cute, caring, able to find happiness in anything, Misuzu is like the perfect anime heroine. Seriously. She's also voiced by Monica Rial, who voices Laura from School Rumble. Cool, huh? The only thing I can say about this character is that I think I'm in love. Actually, seriously, like, the first few episodes just had me fall completely in love with this character. Kano. Kano, like Misuzu, is very strange. She, in the first episode, refers to her and Yukito as dilly-dallians. I know, it's as weird as it sounds, but I think that's just one of the many reasons for her charm. She also seems to have some sort of connection with the girl in the sky, actually asking Yukito if he's ever had dreams that he can fly. Which is pretty weird, because that's what Misuzu's dreams are about. But, also, she seems to be convinced that when she turns a certain age, she's going to gain magical powers, but until then she can't take this ribbon around her wrist off. It's weird, but she seems to genuinely believe that. I've heard of stranger things in anime. I mean, there's this one out there with a notebook that can kill people. Weird, right? Kano also lives with her older sister, who's a physician, and whose name I forget. And, they seem to have a strong bond with each other, which is always good to see two siblings having such a strong bond. Also, since she was little, she's had a multiple personalities thing. Although it's never really been officially diagnosed as that, that's what it sure seems like. And it's weird, but once again, that will come in future plot points, so I'm not going to give anything away. Just saying, multiple personalities. But seriously, not even that is going to turn me off from this girl. She is really, really cute. I loved her. Meet Minagi. Minagi is, like I said earlier, the most sane of all the girls that are met in this show, probably. She, is an only child, but is always seen in the company of the girl named Michiru. Minagi is serene, always calm, never really lets her emotions show, but not to the point of being an emotionless girl. Just to the point of being mysterious, which I think is good. She's also much more mature than the other girls. She lives with her mother and is pretty secretive about what goes on in her private life. For good reason, we'll find out. I certainly wouldn't want something like this getting out. Or maybe I would. But either way, I'm not saying anything. My lips are... Okay, I'm not doing that. But my lips are sealed. Like you'd want to hug Misuzu and Kano because they're just so cute. You'd probably want to hug Minagi because she's just tragic. You'd feel sorry for her, and she's one of those anime characters that I think really needs a hug. Every once in a while, you'll come across one. I come across them all the time. Then we've got Michiru, which is Minagi's basically her sister she never had, and she kind of plays the role of annoying little kid without being too annoying. Actually, they did a surprisingly good job at not making her annoying. And even though she might seem the way she looks in this picture on the outside, she's actually got some really, really hidden depth to her. Seriously hidden. Since I'm a member of TV Tropes, I would give this character, Haruko, the trope, jerk with a heart of gold. She's an embodiment of this trope. She's basically Misuzu's mother. They're very distant with each other. Misuzu's okay with that. She says that they just live their separate lives and just live together, and she's absolutely fine with that. I certainly wouldn't, but she is. It seems that Haruko crashes her motorcycle into the woodshed on a daily basis, and she drinks a lot too. Not to the point of being violent or abusive or anything, just to the point of being a little dazed. Seriously though, when she wants to be, she can be a really caring person, and definitely a force to be reckoned with. Seriously, you will understand this if you've seen the whole series. Also, she's voiced by my favorite voice actress ever, Lucy Christian. And that is awesome. And a side character is the cutest animal ever to appear on an animated television show. Potato. He's so cute! Seriously, you'll be going pico pico every time you see him. Seriously. Just seriously. When it comes to music, this anime is... Pew! It actually reminds me more of an anime from Studio Ghibli because of the soundtrack. It centers a lot around classical pieces, which usually other anime will go with electronic or maybe kind of jazzy pieces. This was like classical almost the whole way through, and the opening and ending were two of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard come from a Japanese animated TV show. The opening song, Tori no Uta, really set the mood of the show. It was kind of sad. Oh man, this show is a tearjerker. But beautiful, with visuals involving the sky. And the ending, called the farewell song, was also quite sad. But actually, seriously, one of the most beautiful songs I have ever heard. I loved it so much. I really gotta download it. Now, when it comes to animation, I've been using a lot of stills in this video, and if you think just one frame of this looks good, you'll think the rest of it is just... This is Kyoto Animation. Kyoto Animation does some of the best animation I've ever seen. I've seen a couple episodes of The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. I've seen clips from Clannad and Canon, and also Lucky Star, and those are all done by Kyoto Animation, and they are the most beautifully animated shows I've ever seen. Pretty much second only to Studio Ghibli. It's like that good. The voice acting is great. You really can't go wrong with voices like Vic Mignogna, Lucy Christian, Monica Rial, and all the other characters who have voices that are good. Wow, that was awkward. But, like I said before, you have voices like Monica Royale from Full Metal Panic as, Misuzu, and you've got Vic Mignogna and Lucy Christian, who I discovered from School Rumble, doing a really up high voice for Tenma. So her voice in this, it's much more mature. It's very different, but was very good. A flaw I can really only think of right now is minor characters, like characters that appear for a second, could have better voices, and also during the summer arc, it kind of gets confusing from there. Other than that, though, I'd say that there are really no major flaws. All in all, I would have to give this excellent anime a excellent rating of 4.95 out of 5. Thank you for watching my review for Air, and I regret to inform you that there are no victims for my Death Note this week. I got into an argument about Sarah Palin and evolution with someone, but they were willing to accept that I had different opinions, and I was willing to accept that they had separate opinions. We went our separate ways, and there's really no reason to put that person in Death Note. I can't think of anyone, any specific comments I can put in it. So I think God's hand shall not come down on you evildoers today. Oh man, I'm gonna get so much hate mail for that one. But either way.